Hello, my name's Ben Ciotti. I'm a lecturer in marine biology at the University of Plymouth.
I'm Ida Nielsen. I'm a specialist advisor for NRW, Natural Resources Wales.
Hello, I'm Jan Hiddink. I'm a professor in marine biology at Bangor University.
Could you tell me a little bit more about where the idea for this project came from?
Yeah, this project really came about because for marine development, in some cases, there's unavoidable harm to fish. And as a regulator, we have to provide advice then on whether that can be compensated for. And now we know that some of the marine habitat are incredibly important for fish. What we really don't know is that when they go in and create new habitat and do habitat restoration, how comparable is that to the other habitat, the existing habitat there is, and to which case can we compensate via creating this new habitat for that inevitable loss of fish that may happen as a result of a marine development. And that is one of our Natural Resources Wales evidence needs that we've got identified.
I'm interested in the physiology and ecology of coastal organisms, and particularly how juvenile fish use inshore habitats. So if we want to effectively manage fish populations, we need to know the habitats they require. So I'm in the business of basically trying to mobilize the modern tools that we have available in terms of technology, in terms of biochemistry, molecular biology, to gather more effective information, not just about where the fish are, but also how different habitats support growth and survival.
I work for Natural Resources Wales. I provide casework advice for marine and estuarine fish, and that means I kind of look at what different kind of developments when they come in for marine licensing will need, how they should do their surveys, what kind of impacts they could have, and the environmental impact assessments that they do. I also work with legislation such as the Habitats Directive in terms of looking at what protected habitats and species could be affected by those developments.
My main expertise is looking at the effect of fishing on marine ecosystems. One of these interests is about how fishing may degrade the habitat suitability for fish, or the amount of food and shelter that is available to them. And recently here in Bangor, we've also been working on the fish species that occur on salt marshes, and salt marshes can be very important, turns out, for both adult and juvenile fish species.
We're looking for somebody who's determined, motivated to conduct a period of intense research, particularly in applied fisheries and conservation type questions, people who are really motivated to sort of solving some of the issues that Ida was talking about. We recognise you're not going to have all of that. This is a training program, so you're not going to have all of that when you come in. But we're looking for somebody who really welcomes the opportunity, first of all, to undertake some field work in all conditions. So somebody who's willing to go out there in the field and learn field techniques. Somebody who's got maybe a bit of experience working in a laboratory and at least knows what that involves, and somebody who also embraces new technological approaches. So we will be working with a new camera system as part of this project. So that will be an opportunity there for somebody who's maybe got a bit of a techie interest as well. So we're really looking for somebody who's enthusiastic about working across disciplines in understanding these broader social, cultural and economic dimensions that's really needed to transform our advice on these ecological questions, to put that advice into action and to ultimately to achieve sustainable management of marine resources.
So most PhD students will start with doing a literature review. This literature review is aimed at finding out what's already known, how people have been doing these kind of studies, and also about identifying the gaps in the knowledge that we don't already, for the things we don't already know, and therefore the things that the PhD could focus on more. Then the second thing is starting to plan the actual practical work, and it will involve trying to figure out where and when and how you can study this restoration of habitats for fish. When the weather starts to get a bit better, you'll be starting with the first pilot experiments in the field.
What kind of careers do you think this PhD could lead to?
Doing a PhD, you I guess beyond the sort of technical skills you develop very broad skills in communication, numerical skills, and analytical skills. So that that really opens up a range of different career possibilities. Also, there's that transdisciplinary element, which means that you'll have some experience of the social and economic skills as well. And in terms of careers, this is quite a topic of interest for many agencies and regulatory bodies at the moment. And I think when this sort of link between fisheries and conservation and how we need effective conservation to support sustainable fisheries, I think that's something that everybody is quite interested in and recognises as important at the moment. So when Ida, Jan and I were first discussing the project ideas, and we started mentioning this to some of our colleagues in other agencies and bodies, and very rapidly we built up a much broader consortium of organisations that were really interested in this research topic.
Would you encourage potential applicants to contact you, and if so, who should they approach in the first instance?
I'd be very happy to answer any questions or discuss any aspect of the studentship that you might want to talk about.